This morning, we continue to follow the decision by the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade. This eliminates the nearly 50-year-old constitutional right to abortion and gives states the authority to limit or ban the procedure moving forward. Now, since that announcement Friday, there are many questions out there like, what happens next? How does this impact us here in Indiana? And to help us understand this, we're joined by Laura Wilson, Assistant Professor of Political Science at UIndy. Laura, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so it's history, right? And with it, there's a lot of information to take in. So first, what does this mean for the terms of legality of abortion? Does this decision yesterday mean it's now illegal at the federal level?
You know, I've heard a lot of questions about this, and I'm so glad we're starting with this question because a lot of people say, well, now is it illegal or what is going on there? What the federal government decided through the Supreme Court is that the states have the right to decide. And so you will see many states, over 24 states actually have what we call trigger laws, and that these will come into effect now, essentially illegalizing abortion. But not all states have that. Some states are probably going to become stronger in their abortion policies. But I think that's really important to remember because part of the decision that the Supreme Court justices said was not that it doesn't exist. They thought it belongs at the state level and not the federal level. And Roe versus Wade had made it a federal decision. So I think that's a really important point to note. It will then become a state decision. And of course, states can handle things differently.
And speaking of that state decision, how do you think Indiana is going to respond?
Well, we know on the docket now a special session that Governor Eric Holcomb has called. Originally, that was to deal with the $1 billion revenue that he's going to dole out to individual taxpayers, and that's set for July 6th. Of course, once legislators are together, they could talk about any kind of topic. And so previous to this decision, we thought it was quite possible they would talk about abortion. I think at this point, we'd say it's very likely that they will talk about abortion at that special session. And of course, our state has tended to be more restrictive. So I would expect to see measures and policies that reflect that conservative attitude.
Going from federal to state and then local, I've seen a lot of people talking about, since this came down yesterday, could this end up being a county issue based on the prosecutors in that county? I know there's a lot to this topic, but briefly, could you explain to us a little bit about that?
Sure. So typically the county they are an administrative arm, we would say, of the state. They have to do what the state wants them to do. But we have heard some people say, well, at the county level, if the prosecutor doesn't want to prosecute, then they wouldn't be enforcing the law. And we've actually heard that in Marion County with Ryan Mears. Certain counties could have that kind of response. Typically, though, it is a statewide decision, and the state would make that decision for the entire state.
We're wrapping up here, but really quickly, how do you think this could impact upcoming elections?
I think this is going to have a major impact. And I wouldn't normally say that about an issue in June. We're many months away from the general election, but this is something that people feel really passionate about. They're very excited. They're very angered. This is a wedge issue that matters to voters, and I do think it'll make a difference in November.
Laura, thank you again for helping us understand all of this. We really appreciate your insight.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll have this interview posted online. You can also find all of our continued coverage on Roe v. Wade at fox59.com. We're going to go to break now. We'll be right back with more of your top stories and a look at your weekend forecast.